You open your eyes. An endless ocean of black fills your vision. You blink, trying to cast the darkness away, but the veil of blackness still looms over your body. You try to move, but a cold wall, inches away from your face, pins you to the ground. Distressed, you stare into the empty void pressing down on you. Questions start to form in your mind. Are you asleep? Have you gone blind? Are you dead? Seconds become minutes and minutes become hours. Or so you think. You've completely lost any concept of time. You put your hands against the firm wall on top of you, trying to push yourself away from the darkness. You manage to move your body only a few inches, your nails clawing at the hard wall and your legs scraping against the cold floor, but the top of your head hits another hard surface, and you're forced to stop. Suddenly, you hear a creaking noise coming from above. Something is on the other side. You can definitely hear a squeaking sound, faint but clear. But as swiftly as it started, the sound stopped. You are once again plunged into complete silence. Then, a dreary thought sneaks into your mind. You are buried. You are buried alive. It seems obvious now. The sound you just heard was your coffin groaning under the weight of the dirt above. You're trapped. A feeling of claustrophobia builds up in your heart. A cry of utter despair and hopelessness bursts out of your lungs. "Help!" you shout, but you know it's all in vain. You know nobody can hear you. Your eyes wet, a warm tear drips onto your cheek. You didn't want it to end this way. You had dreams, family, friends. You had your life to live. But your cruel fate has stripped everything away. You close your eyes, and you pray that your torture ends quickly. After an indefinite amount of painful minutes, you begin to drift away. Your existence slowly washes off the face of the earth. But then, you hear a sound. At first, you can't determine what it is, but slowly you recognize the familiar whooshing sound of a strong breeze. You must be very close to the surface. New hope is planted in your heart. You start yelling again, hoping to catch the attention of somebody passing by you. Suddenly you hear a loud thump. The roof of your coffin bends inward, the cold surface now pressing down on your face. You turn your head sideways to allow for breathing space. Something has fallen on your coffin. Is it dirt? About to crush you? No, it can't be. Whatever caused the bend, it's still moving. Maybe you aren't buried. But if that isn't the case, then where are you? A shiver runs down your spine. A question you should have thought of earlier pops into your mind. How did you end up here? You realize you have no recollection of past events. Where were you and what were you doing? Your memory is completely blank. But you can't give it more thought. As a creaking sound breaks the silence once more, the bend in above you subsides, indicating that the weight on top has shifted. You can very faintly hear a whimpering sound, like someone's trying to muffle their crying. Suddenly, a flash of light blinds you. You look to your right. A little crack has appeared in the blackness that surrounds you, allowing a sliver of light to invade your world of darkness. Your heart jumps. This is your escape. You extend your hand, your fingers touching the edge of the crack. You're surprised to find not the hard surface which you had imagined, but a smooth, soft cloth that parts under your light touch. You push with your fingers the velvet-like material apart, creating a hole big enough for your hand to pass through. With another push, your hand exits the dark prison and enters the world of light. The fresh air cools your skin, while you blindly explore your surroundings with your hand. At first, your palm lands on a cold surface that seems to extend beyond your reach, but moving your hand up, you again come in contact with the soft material. You grab onto it, trying to determine how far it goes. You start climbing up the cloth with your hand, but almost immediately your fingertips reach the edge of the strange fabric. You grab onto it, trying to determine how far up it goes. You start climbing up the cloth with your hand, but almost immediately, your fingertips reach the edge of the strange fabric. Suddenly a high-pitched screech pierces your ears. "Mommy! Mommy!" After a few seconds you hear a door opening. "What is it, sweetie?" "There's a monster under my bed."